everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a necklace using products from the Bargain Bead Box September 2022 edition. So, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do this yet. I've got the colors pulled out that I want to use and some of the components, and we'll see how it comes together. But first of all, our encouraging word for today is turn your wounds into wisdom. That is pretty smart advice right there. Okay, so Bargain Bead Box. It is a monthly beading subscription service. You get all kinds of wonderful goodies for $19.49 a month, shipped straight to your door. And I do have an unboxing for this box for this month. I'll link it in the description box below this video. But here's what we're going to be using in this necklace today. We're going to use the tiger eye rounds, these red tiger eye, they're so pretty. We're going to be using these sparkly half matte, half shiny beads. And these, I love these. I hope they put these up on their site. When you subscribe to Bargain Bead Box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store. They have some beautiful products there, and you can use that coupon over and over all month long. You get it every month. It's really a cool deal. And then I have a $2 off coupon. So if you want to subscribe, you can get $2 off your first month's box. If you don't want to subscribe, you can get $2 off your first purchase in their store. But you can only use it once, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I hope they put more of these in their store. I love those. And these as well, these sparkly barrel beads. These are so, so pretty. Look at that. We're going to use some of the leaf beads. We're going to use 3 of the owl charms, a lobster clasp from my own stash. This is Beadalon 7-strand bead stringing wire. I've got some of the chain pulled out here, a 12mm jump ring. You're going to need some head pins and eye pins. And I'm not sure what else. We're just going to kind of see how it comes together. I have a little bit of a design in my head, but I haven't really fleshed it out yet. So you're going to need some crimp beads, I know that, for the bead stringing wire, and of course all your tools. And we may use these too. These are the little garnet, what were these called? Oh, where'd my thing go? These are Hessonite garnet rounds. Really cool. So, all right, so let's go ahead and we're going to make the focal piece that I want to do. This is where the whole idea came from. So I love these little owls. I think they're so adorable. And we are going to do this. We're going to make a little 3 owl focal here using some of this beautiful tiger eye. Probably about like this. And I may do this and this. So we'll see how it comes together. But I definitely know that that is one way that I want this to go. So I'm going to take an eye pin. Okay. The reason I'm using an eye pin for all the new beaders out there is because it has a loop on the end and I can hang my owl on it. If you used a head pin, you would not have the loop on the end here. So eye pins have loops on the end, head pins do not. You can make a head pin out of an eye pin or an eye pin out of a head pin, but these are already made. Okay, so we're just going to hang him right here. Then we're going to thread on our beads. So I'm wanting to use just like this, just like that. And I'm going to make a wrapped loop on the top, okay? Am I going to make a wrapped loop? I'm not going to make a wrapped loop. This head pin is kind of thick, so I'm just going to bend it 90 degrees. We're going to make a regular loop. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it with my cutters, and then I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to make a small loop here, just like this. You just roll a loop right back like that, and there you have it. Perfect little loop. Whoops. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to be hanging him on my wire, and he's going to hang in the middle. Let me go ahead and cut the piece of wire. I'm just going to cut, this is antique bronze color, 7-strand Beadalon bead stringing wire. I'm just going to go ahead and, where did my cutters go? There they are. I'm going to cut a piece. Geez, I don't know how much I'm going to need. I'm going to do about 6 or 8 inches, probably 8 inches here, just to make sure I have enough. And I'm going to string him on because he's my focal, so I need to be able to tell where he's hanging. And then I'm going to put one of these tiger eye beads on either side of him. Okay, so just like this. Scoot that down. Okay, so there's what we've got. Now these guys, I want them to hang beside this one, but I don't want them to be too close. I think that's going to be good. I think those tiger eye beads are going to make that perfect. Okay, so again, I'm going to take an eye pin, 2 eye pins actually. Okay, I'm going to string him on. Actually, I'm going to put the owl on first. I like to go ahead and put whatever I'm dangling from the bottom of this on before I put the bead on and make the loop. It just makes it easier to get it on. If you put the bead on first and then make your loop, and then you have to open this little loop, the things that are on your main piece here can press down really hard on that loop and can sometimes make it hard to string things on there. And I have got alcohol ink all over my hands today. I'm pouring some resin and alcohol ink bowls for Christmas presents, and so they're a mess, but all right, now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to string this on. Now I want to look and see. So this one's kind of long. When I make my loop, he's going to hang way up here, and I don't think I want him to hang that far up. So I need to put another bead or 2. Let's pull out these little garnet beads and see what we want to do. We might add a couple more on here. So let's see if these will go on this head pin. They have tiny little holes. They will, thank goodness. Okay, so now if I make a loop and hang him, he's going to hang a little bit better. I'm going to do that. So you take it, bend 90 degrees again, trim off your wire, and roll a loop. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to string that right on. Make sure you get your loops closed, because if you don't, they'll come right off your wire. And yes, I do like the way this is looking. Okay, same thing over here. Little garnet round, or beautiful sparkly bead. And this little garnet round. If I can get it on there. Come on, there we go. Bend this 90 degrees. That's a pretty short piece of wire. I don't really need to trim it off. Just roll the loop back and put this right on. Oh, that's cute. I do like it. I really, really do. Okay, now I want to add probably a couple more of these guys. I've got these 2. Let's take a look. That's really pretty. I'm going to do a couple more of these big tiger eye rounds. That looks really good. Okay, and then maybe these 2, and then I will crimp off my bead stringing wire, and we'll figure out what else we want to do. I knew the focal. I had that in my mind already, but I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this necklace, but I knew this part. Oh, that's cute. Those little owls are so adorable. All right, now I think what I would like to do is make some links to go up the side, just a couple, and then probably finish it with the chain. So do I want to use these leaf beads down here? Let me look here. That is kind of cute. And it seems like it kind of ties it together well with the bronze down here. Yeah, I might do that. And a couple more of these rounds. And sometimes this is how you have to design. You just have to kind of play around with it and see how things look. I can envision things in my head, but a lot of times it doesn't come out exactly like I want it to. So I have to just design as I go. All right, so I need a couple crimp beads or crimp tubes. Let's see here. No, I don't have any antique bronze. I don't think I have any antique bronze crimp tubes. No, but I do have some gold, which would work just fine. Or gunmetal, which would work just fine. I think I'll use these antique golds. I really like crimp tubes better than crimp beads. They just seem more secure to me. So these are 2x2 crimp tubes. And I have to decide if I'm going to make links. How am I going to do that? So I know I would do it on some eye pins, probably with these next. So I would need to crimp these onto the eye pin or, okay, yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and crimp this closed. I'm not going to use a wire guardian on here. I don't really feel like it needs it. So what we're going to do is we're putting the crimp tube on the chain or on the wire, and then we're going back through the crimp tube and a couple of these beads down here. I'm going to pull this loop in to where it's pretty small, okay? You don't need it to be very big at all, just a small loop like that. Now, I'm trying to make sure that my wires aren't crossed in here, but it's hard to tell sometimes if they are. You just do the best you can. Take your crimping pliers, the divot side down, you want to lay it in the divot here, and just crimp down. And it's going to create two little channels there, and then you turn this vertical in your first or second little indentation up here. I usually go with the second one. It seems to fit most things. And then I'm just going to trim this off under this leaf bead here. Okay? Tighten everything down. So make sure there's no big gaps in your wire. Make sure your beads up here are covering your tail, and go all the way up to the crimp. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to stick this crimp bead right in here. We're going to go back through it, back through the garnet bead, and back through this leaf bead. And I just go through and let it come out where it comes out. Okay, now the best way to do this, to pull this tight, is to take your plier and put it in here, in the loop. Don't close it, and just pull. You can either take your other plier, and pull. And you just want that loop to come down and be about the same size as the loop on the other side. Okay, which is kind of hard to do sometimes because these beads are tight. Okay, there we go. Now, just lay it out. See how there's a gap here? I don't want that gap. I need to scoot this down, and pull that in tighter. I do not want gaps between my beads. Now, you don't want them to be poker straight. You want them to have a little movement, but just don't have a huge gap in there. And this is still a bigger loop than the other side. So again, I'm going to put my plier in here and pull. And you just kind of want to take your time on this part. Make sure it looks right, because this is your focal on your necklace. Okay. Go ahead and lay that in there and crimp down. Turn it sideways and close your crimp. Okay. So here we have our cute little focal. Trim that off. There it is. Now, we got to decide what we want to do. So, I know I want to do a few links. I like the way that looks, the links in some of these necklaces. So, I'm going to grab out a couple of eye pins. Here we go. So, let's see. How do I want to do it? I think I'm going to do this guy, and this guy over here. And the same thing on the other side. Like this. That's pretty. So that would be a link. I'm just going to lay them out here, kind of 2 or 3 of them like I want them to go. Another leaf bead, and this guy would be kind of cute. There's the hole on the bead. There it is. Okay, those look good. And then maybe one more set. Okay. I need to get a couple of these in here, I think. So let's do this one, this one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm not going to end up using these on this, I don't think. So we'll do this one, and another one of these. Okay. So let's link those up, and then I'll add a couple. We'll add some more if we want to. All right, so to link these up, we're just going to make a loop. 90 degrees. Trim it. And roll back your loop. Just like that. Same over here. Trim it. And roll back the loop. Okay, and then I'm just going to open this, and I'm going to hook this straight onto my bead stringing wire loop that I made right there. Now you have to make sure this loop is closed up really good, okay, because that is thin little wire, and if you don't have this closed really well, it's going to slip right out. You don't want that. Same thing over here. Just going to slide it right on. I wonder if I have burgundy leather. That would be really pretty with this as well. I don't know if I do. Okay. So there's that. Now we'll go ahead and make our links here. Same thing. 90 degrees. I like to make wrapped loops, but with these thicker jump ring, or these thicker head pins, it's kind of hard sometimes. So I didn't want to really try to do the wrapped loops on this, but I do love the look of wrapped loops. So a lot of times I do wrapped loops too, and you could if you had a thinner head pin. I don't know what gauge these are. They're like 18 gauge maybe. They're just a little harder to do the wrapped loops out of, but I do love the look of the wrapped loops. Okay, so there's that, and then we would have this one over here. Now we could do like a multi-strand if we wanted to. Multi-strand would be really cute. Huh. Multi-strand would be really cute. We could do this a little dangle here. Hook these together and then come into the chain over here. Do I want to do that? I can't decide. I might. That does look really good. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so for this guy, if we wanted to do a dangle here, we would want to use a head pin. So we used eye pins over here because we were dangling down, and we're going to hook the little owl on it. We're not going to hook another owl on over here. So I would use a head pin. I'm just going to put this little leaf on. I may do this garnet bead next, and then this one. Don't like that. See, that's how you have to try these things out sometimes. So let me do the garnet bead first. Then the leaf, then this. I like that a lot better. Okay, so let's go ahead, make a loop, roll this back. We may need some small jump rings. I don't think I pulled jump rings out, but we may need them. Close this up. Didn't get it closed. Okay, now I'm going to hook these two together right here, maybe. You know what, it would be cool to put a ring in there. Let me get a jump ring. Got a bunch of jump rings here. Sorry for my arm. Actually a twisted one would be nice. Let me see if I have a twisted one that opens. Actually, it doesn't need to open. Let me see if I have a bronze twisted one. Got copper. Here's one. That would be kind of cute, right? Let's try this. And this is how I design. I have an idea, a general idea in the beginning, and it may completely change. So a lot of times it does completely change. Okay, let's go ahead and make our loop here. Roll this back. Make a loop over here, same thing. And roll this back. That one didn't even close up, did it? Okay. Now, yeah, this is going to be cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. Put it right on this ring. Did I make a big enough loop? Watch me not have. Yeah, it closes, but it's like tight. That's okay though. Let's do this side here. Open this up. I do that a lot when I'm putting things on rings. I don't tend to make the loops big enough. I like small loops just because they don't show up so much, but when you're putting them on something like this, it's better for them to be a little bigger. That one's not going to work on there. I'm going to have to do this. Let me lay him aside as another dangle maybe on another project and make another one because that loop's not going to be big enough. I can tell right now it's not going to be. Okay, we got to make a bigger loop. I tend to always err toward the smaller ones just because. But let's do this bigger so it'll fit over that ring. So to make it bigger, you just go up higher on your pliers. Okay, see, that makes a much bigger loop, which is what we need for this. Open it up, put it right on here, and close it. And we've got a good loop. And that hangs nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we're just going to hang this like this. This is going to be cute. I'm going to do another link right here, probably using those tiger eye beads. And these guys, since I don't have any of these sparklies on here. So let's pull out a couple of head or eye pins. And we'll do sparkly, tiger eye, and sparkly. Make a loop. Same thing as we've been doing. Okay, there's one. We'll go here with the other one. That wire's bent. Try to just straighten it out. Okay. All right, so here we have our little middle piece. Let's hook everything together, and then we'll hook it in here to either a ring and put the chain on, or the chain itself, probably a ring. But let me go ahead and let's connect these down here. So we have these little leaf ones. We're connecting right here. It doesn't really matter which loop you open. All that really matters is that you get it closed back when you're done. You just want them closed really well so nothing comes apart. So there's that. All right, we'll go right here. Put him right in there. Same over here. Make sure I get it on the right. I guess it doesn't matter. It's got a sparkly bead on either side, top or bottom. Okay, so here we have it. Now, I want to lay this out, kind of decide. Yeah, I think that I'm going to just hook them straight onto the chain. Maybe. Yeah, I am, because here. Okay, so now you have to try to figure out how you want this to hang on you. Okay, so a necklace like this, I wouldn't want to be super long on me. I wouldn't, you know, I want this to hang kind of up around my collarbone. Now you could, if you like tassels or something, do it really long, but I don't. I do love tassels, but I don't want to do this really long. So I'm just going to measure, and for me, a necklace right up around my collarbone, I usually like to be about 21 inches total. So I'll do about, I don't know, like like 11 inches per side maybe, or a little bit. It just totally depends on what you like. I don't want this one to be super long. So if I measure, if I take this and I measure from here to the end, down here all the way up, I've got about 4 3/4 inches. Okay, so I only need about 7 inches of chain. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out, and I'm actually just going to do 6.5 inches, because by the time I put my clasp on, it's going to be 7, and I want this to be a pretty short necklace. I don't want it really long. Okay, so by the time I get this on, yeah, that's probably going to be about right by the time I get the clasp on and everything. Okay, so just measure out. It's totally up to your own creative control, you know, that's what you like. So just measure it out for you, how you like it. And then we're just going to put the finding, we're going to finish it off. Okay, so here I am going to take my lowest strand, which is this one, and hang it on the bottom link, just like this. Close it back up really well. Make sure there's no gap so nothing comes undone. Same thing over here. Just close it right up. Okay, now you want to lay this out in front of you. You want to make sure it's even on both sides, and you want to figure out how you want this to hang. I could hook this in anywhere. So here it is. I could hook it in, you know, into this link if I wanted it to be lower. Or I can hook it in up here if I want it to be higher. And I think I want it to be higher. I think I'm going to go one link above where we just hooked in and hang it there. But you know what? When I put that on, it's going to stretch it way across. I may need to add another link to give it just a little bit more, because I don't want it to stretch out and be like this. I do want it to hang kind of V-shaped. Okay, let me do that. Let's add another, grab your eye pins. We're going to add another link or two. So we've got some more of these guys. Let's use them. And these little garnet rounds. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, and this one. We're just going to make another link. So it has a little bit more length to it. Same thing, just, whoops, what is wrong with my plier? Okay, 90-degree angle here and roll a loop back. Okay, just like this. Okay, and I'm gonna hook this right in to here. And let me do the other side, and then we'll figure out where we want to hook it in on the necklace, because you've got to have it laying right so you can tell what you're doing. Okay, so let's put this one on, this one, and this one. So Bargain Bead Box actually is a great subscription service if you're a new beader or if you've been making jewelry for a while. It's a great stash builder if you've been making jewelry for a while. You get a lot of really great beads in there. Some of them are gemstones, which is really nice. If you're a new beader, it pretty much gives you all the stuff you need to create with. I mean, pretty much. You know, you're getting a big variety of beads, you're getting chain, you're getting usually some charms or some chandelier findings, pendant, stuff like that. So it's a pretty nice box for either. Okay. All right, so here we are. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so I just want to lay it like I want it to hang. And that's where I'm going to hook it in. I'm going to hook it in. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links. Not from the one I hooked it onto, just 7 links, okay? So the one I hooked it onto, I'm counting in those 7. So make sure you figure that in. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm just going to hook it into this link. Now, it is important that it lays right, okay? So I'm going to hook this one side in first. Then we're going to lay it out and hook the other side in and make sure that, oh my gosh, this bead. wants to go up in there. And make sure that it lays correctly. And I lost my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And this is fiddly. This little bead keeps wanting to go up in the loop. It's making it hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. There it is. Get it on there now. There we go. Okay, close this one up first. Do yourself a favor. Don't try to hook them both on at once. Close this one up first. Because if you do, it's going to be very frustrating. There we go. Now, lay this out. Lay this to where it is not twisted in any way. Okay, you don't want it twisting around. You want these links to be laying out flat. And they will twist. So lay them out flat. Okay, and now you're going to count up the 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put a little pin in here so I know which one it is. Make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now what you want to do is with this laying flat, you want to figure out. So the opening is in the back on this this side. So I'm going to open this up and I want to put it right through this way. The way that I have it laying so that it does not twist. Okay, that's important because if you don't, you're going to have it twisting up and it's just going to be a pain. Now you can hook these on with jump rings and it might make it a little easier to not have things twisting up, but I don't really want to use extra jump rings on it. I just want to do it as minimalist as possible here. So there you go. Now if you pick it up and lay it down, just make sure that it's hanging right, and if something looks twisted up, take it off and redo it. But there it is. Super cute. Alright, now we're going to put our closure on. So I'm going to put my gigantic 12mm jump ring on here, which is totally overkill for this lobster claw, but that's what I've got out. And then I'm going to grab another jump ring, a small one, and I'm going to put my lobster on the other side with it. You could put an extender on here if you wanted to, just to make sure that it can fit anybody. I think I'm going to keep this one. I don't keep everything, but this one I really like it, so I'm going to keep it, I think. And so I know it's going to fit me. I don't really need an extender. But if you wanted to do that, you could. And this jump ring is being difficult. There we go. Make sure this one's closed up really good, too. And there we have it. Super cute. Now, you want to go back through here and look at your links. So, see this link? I do not have this link closed all the way. You want to take your pliers and just make sure that your links are closed, because it's really important. You don't want things falling apart, especially if you sell this or you give it away and somebody else is wearing it. You don't want it coming apart on them. All right, so here we have it. Let me hang this on a form and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. It's really cute. It turned out super cute. I love the owls. The tiger eye is just beautiful, and these sparkly beads go really well with the matte and the bronze tones. So we go all the way up here to our chain, and I just think it turned out cute. Like this one. It hangs nice. I love the little focal. You could have even used smaller beads if you wanted in there, but I kind of like the way it's looking right there. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel and check out Bargain Bead Box. I will have a link in the description box below this video. And like I said, there is a coupon for $2 off if you're interested in subscribing. If not, you can use a $2 off coupon for your first purchase in their store if you want to. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.